Welcome, Saints fans. Welcome, Saints fans. If we still have Saints fans out there, welcome to you. We have a lot of Saints fans that are kicking the bucket, and I kind of understand. I understand the pain in the disappointment of earlier this year. So many expectations. I definitely understand. I understand Saints fan the hurt, the pain of what we're going through. I understand. Okay, I understand. But I'm here just to give a little bit of inspiration to the football team that I love. Okay. I have been getting a chance, and I've been watching so many. And shout out to the Bad Sports Show Facebook group and also the Bad Sports Show Twitter group. Okay, and listening to people from Twitter, listening to people through Facebook, and just listening to Saints fans all across and other podcasters. Man, they have a lot of people have thrown in the towel. A lot of people have thrown in the towel. Okay, you would think that this team is a 0-6 football team. You would think we are the Carolina Panthers. The way some fans have just said hell with it. They don't like Dennis Allen. They don't like Pete Carmichael. They don't like Derek Carr. And that have been the biggest topics that I see over social media. I see it all over social media. I see it. Okay. I'm very upset on the way the season has presented itself. I trust me, I have thought that we would be at least with 5 victories by now. I'm really disappointed in this organization, this football team. Okay. So trust me, I am very disheartened. But let me tell you something. I would be wrong. Shout out to T Dirty. I would be wrong if I wouldn't be positive. I would be doing a disjust to the Who Dat Nation. If I would not have a light at the tunnel, I would be wrong to sit here and be like the other podcasters. I would be wrong to sit here and say that Saints fans are delusional, that Saints fans should give up, that Saints fans, there is no hope for this football team. I would be wrong. I would be a disjust to the Who Dat Nation. I would be wrong. I'm not telling you that we are going to be world beaters. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. That's just the way I am. I'm a positive person. And trust me, they're testing even me and I'm having a lot of questions about how positive I can be because it's been unacceptable. P. Carmichael and his, it speaks for itself that changes need to happen after this game. It's a short week. You can't make changes in a short week. If Pete Carmichael and them don't figure it out, it has to be his job or Dennis Allen's job. It has to be his job or Dennis Allen's job if they can't fix the problems Thursday night. No excuses. Pete Carmichael should be released from his duties. And I'm going to tell you like this, Dennis Allen, you are a great, great defensive-minded coach. You're already taking a lot of blame. Some blame is necessary, some blame is not. You have kept this team competing as far as ranking. Shout out to Brian, shout out to Chris and T Dirty. You kept us competitive. I mean, nobody gets over 20-something points on the Saints. I think the most points that was scored on us was 24. The Saints have a damn good defense, a championship quality defense with a mediocre play caller, and right now a mediocre quarterback. Because Derek Carr, we paid you the money. You're not making Daniel Jones money because I think Saints fans get very over. They overreact on the money. It's not a lot of money. It's not even top 14. I think it's like top 14, top 15 in pay. So the Saints not overpaying Derek Carr. Listening to people saying that Derek Carr, and his money, that is not true. The money is not an issue. It's not an issue. The money is not an issue. You're paying a guy top 15 money. But if I got to be objective, we need to get more out of Derek Carr for the buck. You have to get more out of Derek Carr. Because there's no turning back to Jameis Winston. I don't want to hear it, Saints fans. There's no turning back to Jameis Winston. It's not going to happen. The Saints are not going in that direction. Okay? I know a lot of people want to make this a quarterback controversy. It's not a quarterback controversy. Jameis is a backup quarterback. That's just what it is. The biggest move on this football team is to remove Pete Carmichael. I see Pete Carmichael moving before I see Derek Carr move. And I'm very frustrated. I'm very frustrated about this football team. And I don't think that Dennis Allen has lost the locker room. I believe that Pete Carmichael has lost his locker room. I don't think Dennis Allen has lost his locker room, because if Dennis Allen would have lost the locker room, he would lose his defensive guys. The locker room is not lost by Dennis Allen. It's lost by Pete Carmichael. Nobody believes in Pete fucking Carmichael. Nobody believes in Pete Carmichael. You got Alvin looking around. You got multiple players looking around. Nobody gives a damn about Pete Carmichael. Pete Carmichael cannot even lead even press conferences. He has no clue. They ask him questions. It's like you're dealing with a geek. I don't know what to say about the guy. He has no answers on what's going on. Shout out to Big Dog Philly. He has no answers to what is going on with this football team. They ask him simple questions and he has no answers. Pete Carmichael, I'm starting to figure out, trying to feel my way of how in the hell you have been offensive coordinator under Sean Payton all these years. I'm trying to figure out, Pete Carmichael, how in the hell you was the quarterback coach. You was with Drew Brees. You were with Drew Brees before you came to New Orleans. You came from San Diego with Drew Brees. And you're not displaying leadership. It's unacceptable that the Saints get to the goal line and they cannot score. Unacceptable. There's no blame to a field goal kicker. There's no blame to the field goal kicker. No. No blame to the rookie field goal kicker, because we should not be putting the man in a predicament. How do you put a young rookie in a predicament to win football games? It's unacceptable what I am watching right before my eyes. And there are two coaches that need to be evaluated after approaching the bye. You either fix it Thursday, you're gone, Doug Marrone, Pete Carmichael. Because it's not all Pete Carmichael, it's Doug Marrone also. You can't develop plays if you're not giving a quarterback a clear pocket. You cannot develop plays if the quarterback does not get a clear pocket. So that goes hand in hand. And we have not been able from start to now to give Derek Carr a clear pathway. And a lot of this, I don't get why we have these multiple tight ends. You signed Foster Moreau to the contract. You're just giving away money. You gave Juwan Johnson the money. You invested so much money within the tight ends, and you're not utilizing these big-ass tight ends. I don't understand this. And I talked about Zach Bond as I was drunk and miserable on Sunday. I was so drunk and miserable, and forgive me, Who Dat Nation, because I get belligerent, get drunk, and just so upset. But Zach Bond, You take the momentum out of the New Orleans Saints. You intercept a pass that's going to put us in the territory of the Houston Texans. You put us in position where we were going to be right there in the territory of the Houston Texans. And you fumbled the ball to a rookie who didn't throw an interception this whole football season. So you basically gave him a play of momentum. And that's a big part of the game. And a lot of people's not talking about that play. That took a lot out of you work, you get the interception. You give it back and you give confidence in a rookie quarterback. You take, and then you give it back to the rookie quarterback. It makes no goddamn sense. Zack Baun, I don't get it. We've been waiting for you to emerge as that guy, and you constantly, I just don't get it. Shooting ourselves in the foot. Nico Collins. Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about Lattimore. Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore. You were getting tore up by a guy named Nico Collins. Oh yeah, I got that smoke for you, Marshawn Lattimore. You're supposed to be the best cornerback, one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL. And a guy named Nico Collins was running circles around you. Nico Collins, big plays. Big plays. Alontae Taylor, big plays. Getting burnt like burnt toast. Alontae Taylor. I mean, they were getting cooked all over the football field. From a rookie quarterback. Unacceptable. And if anybody don't understand unacceptable, it's unacceptable. And people are going to say, oh, you can't blame the defense. The offense went. No, sometimes you need great defenses to lead poor offenses. If you're going to be great and you're going to be in the same position, you're going to be named with the Baltimore Ravens, you're going to be named with some of the best defenses in the NFL, you got to win football games for your offense sometimes. Great defenses find a way to help winning football games for poor offenses. So don't tell me that the defense don't deserve any criticism, because they do. They do. They were gashing us. We're talking about a Houston Texans team who is poor in the run game and established a run game on the Saints. They were gashing us up the hole. And you guys didn't see that? You didn't see it? I saw it. So we got a lot of things to clean up Thursday. There's a lot of things. And let me tell you something. I can't even pronounce the guy. His name, he has for further review. The guy, his name, he's from Baton Rouge, Matt McCosco, whatever his name. He has a podcast. I disagree with you, man. I understand that there's a lot of podcasters that get a lot of views. I understand that there's a lot of podcasters that feeds to the emotions of their fan base. I understand that. And it's okay to be talking about the brutal truth. I am one who like to talk about the brutal truth. But to say that you would rather lose, that you would rather be the Carolina Panthers, you would rather be 0-6 than be 3-3, that tells me something. You would rather be 0-6. For you to say that you would rather be 0-6, I don't give a damn. Let me tell you something. I've been a Saints fan for a very long time. And to listen to other Saints fans talk like this is the end of the world, it's hard for me. And I love my Saints fans. I understand the pain that we're going through. I understand our frustration, but we should never give up. New Orleans Saints fans, we should never, ever give up. Okay? We should never get to the point where we think the season is over with. As a fan, you're gonna be mad on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. When it gets down to Thursday, when it gets down to Friday, when it gets down to Saturday and Sunday, it's over with. And I'm just one of them Saints fans. I'm not going to keep dwelling the whole week on the same things that we can't control as Saints fans. And I am very much aware and very much upset, just like other Saints fans, on the way things is going with the situation. Shout out to Derek. But to say that it's over with, and you're 3-3, and that it's over with, and you're one game out of the poorest division in football. You're one game, family. One game. And we got many Saints fans who criticizing me for being positive. No, I'm not going to stop being positive as a Saints fan because you want to say it's over. It's okay to vent on Sunday. It's okay to have your opinion. It's okay to feel like it's over with, but it's not over with, fans. We even had brothers who didn't even show up for the podcast because they so upset with me. They're so upset with positive Saints fans. And I understand. I understand fully. You have a right as a Saints fan to feel the way you feel. I have no right to tell you not to feel pain and feel upset about the Saints not being successful. I have no right to tell you anything like that. But what I am going to say is why are we giving up so early? I'm not going to do it. I'm not giving up on this football team. I can't do it because I watched too many bad football teams. I watched the New Orleans Saints. Back in the days, man, I know some of you guys are real Saints fans who watch the Saints way worse than this. Okay? And I'm just not ready to mail it in yet. I'm just not ready because it's too early for me. Okay? I watched the 49ers. I watched the 49ers lose to the Cleveland Browns. I watched the Philadelphia Eagles lose to the New York Jets. I watched multiple teams get upset Sunday. So what I ain't gonna do is just act like I'm just not giving up on my football team. I'm not gonna do it. Am I upset? Yeah, I'm upset just like you. Do I feel like we're underachieving? Yes, we're underachieving. But am I giving up? Hell no. I'm not giving up on this football team. I can't give up on it. And I'm not gonna be like the other podcasters. That's what makes us so different on the Baddest Sports Show podcast. You're gonna get some of the ones who gave up. You got some podcasters who gonna feed into you being angry, and you're gonna listen to some podcasters like me who gonna tell you, hey, we still believe. And if you don't believe in positivity, this might not be the channel for you. Okay? It might not be the channel for you. And I'm okay with that. But for me to give up on this organization, I can't do it. I won't do it. Because I still love me some Demario Davis. I still love me some Marshall Lattimore. I still love me. There's still football players that are still fighting. I still love Alvin Kamara. And for one of the podcasters to sit there and say, let's just blow it up. Let's just blow it up. After 3 games, he said, let's blow this football team up. After all of them contracts that we signed, he wanted to just blow it up. That's not reasonable, man. It's not realistic. You know, you want the Saints to eat the dead cat. I don't understand. I don't get it. You know, I haven't given up, y'all, and I know that some of you guys are just as big as Saints fans as I am, or probably even bigger Saints fans than me. I know that you're just frustrated. I understand that. And it's okay. You earn the right to be a Saints fan. We might be a little spoiled. Maybe Sean Payton got us a little spoiled. We want Dennis Allen to be like Sean Payton, and that's never going to happen. It's never. We're not going to ever get another Sean Payton. Okay? And we don't need Dennis Allen to be Sean Payton. We need Dennis Allen to be Dennis Allen as far as a defensive mind. And we need a damn new offensive coordinator that's going to lead with such a great defense. And that's just my opinion. You're not going to win. You're not going to win football games the way we're playing. And I'm not going to make excuses anymore. There's no way in the world. Like I said, I just haven't given up. We have an opportunity, fans. We got an opportunity. We're not out of this. I mean, the NFC South is still bad. The NFC South is still bad. I watched the whole division. I watched the Atlanta Falcons lose to the Washington Commandos, formerly of the Potato Skins. Okay, I watched Carolina Kitty Cats go 0-6. So I'll be dog if I'm giving up. I'll be dog if I'm giving up, family. I'm not giving up on this season. I'm not, despite how angry I am, I'm not giving up on this football team. Am I frustrated? Yes. Should you be frustrated? Yes. We should all be frustrated because we deserve better as a Who Dat Nation. We deserve better. And there's no excuses. Nobody's trying to make excuses for the Saints. And I don't expect you to make excuses for the Saints. The better football team beat us. And that's just the bottom line. But to sit there and listen, I just want y'all to know, man, I'm just, I never root against your team. Never root against your team. I never felt this bad about the Saints in my life. Never root against your team. I don't care how bad things get. You don't see the New York Jets fans. The New York Jets fans lost a Hall of Fame quarterback. And you saw what the Jets did. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't have a damn good quarterback. Their defense is winning them ball games. They don't have a damn good quarterback at all since Aaron Rodgers got hurt. But you think the fans have given up on the Giants, on the Jets? No, they didn't give up on the Jets. No. Saints fans, we supposed to be the best fans on the planet. And I'd be damned if we let a bunch of people stray us away from who we are. We are the best fans on the planet. We are the best fans on the planet. And like I said, I apologize to a lot of you guys because I get emotional. But I just don't want us to. Look, it's okay. It's okay for us to vent. It's okay for us to be frustrated. But we are the best fans. We the Who Dat Nation. There ain't a fan base better than us. And I just don't believe at 3-3, it's just not time to give up on your football team. I'm not giving up, y'all. I'm not giving up. Maybe you want to call me delusional. Maybe you want to say that I'm delusional. But I'm not going to be that Saints fan that's going to tell you we need to tank it. I'm not about tanking this season. We're better than that. Tank for what? The Saints are stuck in contracts, multiple contracts. For a couple of years, we're stuck in contracts. What are we going to tank for? You got to stick what you got, man. I don't know how much I can sit there and tell you guys that it's just that I just see so many people with so much negativity when it comes down to it. And then I got people who I've been cool with. We're not talking. I got brothers I ain't even talking to right now. They're not talking to me. I'm not talking to them over the Saints. We losing friendship over this shit. You heard me? It's a bad time right now. It's a bad time. But we're 3-3. And real Saints fans have been through worse. Real Saints fans have seen worse of football teams than what they see now. Real Saints fans has endured way more pain than this. I remember Carl Smith. Anybody who a real Saints fan remember the days of Carl Smith. That was one of the Jim Mora problems. Jim Mora did not know how to sit Carl Smith down. He didn't know how to step in. He just was trying to prove everybody that Carl Smith was the guy, but Carl Smith was keeping us from winning multiple, for getting us to win our first playoff game. And I see the same thing with Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen, you don't have a long leash like Jim Mora. Jim Mora been with the football team for over 10-something years. You don't have that. You ain't gonna have they're not gonna give you that patience, dude. They're gonna fire you. And if you're not capable of getting this football team to score touchdowns, you will be fired. And deservedly so. And you ain't got nobody to be the blaming but yourself, Dennis Allen. This football team, I'm excited that Jamal Williams is back at practice today. He looks good. He was working out today. Of course, we got our rookie quarterback. He's already back with the football team. I'm excited. I'm excited about a lot of things. Okay? Shout out to JP of New Orleans Saints. He said he's been a Saints fan since 1986. He said never give up, period. And that's a real Saints fan. JP is a real Saints fan. Because I've been a Saints fan since 1981. And I love the Saints then, and I still love the Saints now. I am not a delusional fan. I have seen the Saints start 8-0. Who remember when the Saints started a season 8-0? And didn't make the playoffs. They lost the rest of their games. They went 8-8. The Saints lost. They lost to Pittsburgh Steelers. And they just falled, and they fell, and they fell. The Saints started the season out 8-0. Saints fans don't remember that, do they? They don't remember that. A lot of Saints fans don't remember that, do they? That the Saints, they were 8-0 under Jim Mora. And they went on to go 8-8. So sometimes when you start good, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can start off fast. It doesn't mean you're going to make the playoffs. Sometimes you start out slow and you end up fast, and you can make a run. You know, the 49ers lost to the Cleveland Browns without Deshaun Watson. It's still up for grabs for the Saints. They lost 3 games, and you look at the division. You can't tell me we can't take this division, because when you look at the Saints and you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Buccaneers are about to play some real tough teams. The Buccaneers got to play the Bills. The Buccaneers got a real tough schedule. It's really about to get rough for the Buccaneers. And it's really about to get rough for Atlanta. This is what I was telling people multiple times. It's really about to get rough for these teams. And then you ain't got to worry about Carolina, because Carolina ain't catching us. I'm telling you, I got a feeling that we're going to catch on. I believe in Michael Thomas. I believe Michael Thomas has not been a distraction. Michael Thomas has been a leader. There's reports out there the distraction has been Chris Olave. And Michael Thomas and Kamara pulled him to the side, and they straightened out the young second-year veteran. They straightened him out. They called him out because he had basically quit on this football team because he was not receiving a lot of catches for the last 2 games, and he was not selling out for balls. And this was reported by Nick Underhill. And shout out to Nick Underhill. See, a lot of people don't know this stuff. Okay? So I have seen so many people focus on Derek Carr, comparing numbers with Derek Carr and Andy Dalton. They ain't comparing them to Jameis. They're comparing them to Andy Dalton. Last time I looked at it, and everybody wants to say Derek Carr is Andy Dalton. It's one of the most. I don't even stoop that low for Derek Carr. It's a shame. It's amazing when you lose, you are compared to the worst people when you're losing. And I just hope that the Saints team, because if I'm not going to hope in and be optimistic for Derek Carr, then I'm not a Saints fan. If I'm not hoping that this guy can turn this thing around, I'm not a Saints fan. I gotta have trust in the system. I gotta have trust in my players. And I trust that this team is going to turn it around. I remember the days of Bobby Abrams. But one thing about Bobby Abrams, let me tell you something. Bobby was never to me, Bobby, please, man, that's disrespect to the man too. Bobby Abel wasn't all that good. He played with the Dawn Patrol. Bobby Abel wasn't shit to me. I'm sorry. But the Cajun Cannon got his teeth knocked out. All we needed was a quarterback. Look, let me tell you something. Derek Carr's had a better career than Bobby Abel. I just think that when we're losing, it's easy to compare the man to somebody like that. It's sad. It's sad. But I understand. I understand that's what y'all want to do. It's okay when they're losing. It's okay to sit there and make up bogus lies, because Bobby ain't never had the yards that Derek Carr have in football. Touchdowns or yards. Bobby ain't never been that good. Okay? Bobby Abrams not even better than Andy Dalton. Okay? So, I mean, I don't know why we be so disrespectful to Andy Dalton or he wasn't that good. Bobby was never that good. Okay? It's amazing that these guys want to be analysts, and these guys there wasn't shit neither. Bobby had the best defense and couldn't win a playoff game. He had the best defense in the NFL and couldn't win one playoff game. It remains to be seen what Derek Carr is going to do. I want to see more of the year. And Thursday, I want to see if the Saints can turn this damn thing around. Like I said, I'm optimistic. And you may not like it. You may have given up. You may have said that it's over and I'm delusional. All right, I could be that. Okay? But you're not going to stop me from being encouraged that this team could turn this thing around. You got to be with this weak-ass division. You got to be optimistic. And I just hope that some of you guys understand that I watched the Saints. Petey, you watched the Saints, Petey. The Saints were 8-0. They went 8-0 and they didn't make the playoffs. It doesn't. So if you start great, it doesn't make them. It doesn't mean you're going to get into the playoffs. But if you finish strong, you might be the hottest team at the end. And look, I haven't gave up on Alvin Kamara. I haven't gave up on Michael Thomas. I haven't gave up on this football team. And what they need to do is start establishing, getting the ball to the tight end. Derek Carr has a history of being good with tight ends, and we're not utilizing the tight ends. And that is all Pete Carmichael's fault. That is all Pete Carmichael's fault. There's no way in the world you're not going to attempt to go into the middle of the field. Michael Thomas is a guy that you got to find in the middle of the field. Foster Moreau, what are we paying the money to this guy for from the Raiders that we picked up from? What are we paying Jawan Johnson for? We put a lot of money into the tight ends. What did we go get Jimmy Graham for? And we're not going to use him. And that's what's missing in this offense. The tight end is missing in this offense. And when we play the Jags, we gotta utilize the tight end position. And it's not being used. Oh yeah, Steve Walsh, baby, too cold. Who remember them days? You want to go back to them days, Saints fans? You want to go back to the days of putting bags on your head? Because we got a lot of Saints fans who don't know what it's like to be a Saints fan, who don't know what it's like to go through suffering. Because I've been a Saints fan before Sean Payton came. And I remember them days of suffering. And Saints fans don't remember suffering under Sean Payton. Because we went 3 years under Sean Payton, 7-9. 3 79 seasons under Sean Payton, back to back. Most teams would have fired a coach going 3 years, 7-9. But the Saints they was patient enough to not fire Sean Payton. And Saints. Some people going to forget them 3 7-9 seasons, but I would never forget it. I would never forget them 3 7-9 seasons. Drew Brees throwing for 5,000 yards each season and not making the playoffs. And Saints fans don't remember suffering under Sean Payton. Because we went 3 years under Sean Payton, 7-9. 3 79 seasons under Sean Payton, back to back. Most teams would have fired a coach going 3 years, 7-9. But the Saints some people going to forget them 3 7-9 seasons, but I would never forget them 3 7-9 seasons. Drew Brees throwing for 5,000 yards each season and not making the playoffs. I didn't give up then, and I'm not giving up now. It hasn't always been great. Shout out to you, coach. It has not always been great. Being a Saints fan, it hasn't always been peaches and cream being a Saints fan. But being a fan, you're gonna be there with the team when they're suffering. So I remember that when the Saints, we would meet the Saints. When they would come back from victory, we would meet the Saints. We would be bus line upgrade. We would be waiting for the plane to come in. Saints fan has always been there. Real Saints fans. I'm not one of these podcasters gonna tell you to just give up to the season. It's over with. You're delusional. I'm not gonna tell Saints fans to give up. I would rather be 0-6. How would you tell a fan base that they would rather be 0-6 than 3-3? Because that's what this guy Matt said. Matt said he would rather be the Carolina Panthers because they got a future rookie quarterback. Thank you. He said he would rather, and I want you guys to understand this. He said he would rather be 0-6 than being 3-3. What Saints fan would rather be 0-6? And don't tell me nothing about because they got a good future in Carolina. Carolina quarterback. That doesn't mean that young man is going to be great. All number one, drafting quarterbacks does not mean that they all end up well. So we got Petey in the chat. We got brothers in the chat who've been watching football for a very long time. For the ones in the chat who've been knowing football for a long time, who remember Andre Ware? Who remember Andre Ware, the number one pick for the Detroit Lions? Who remember Rodney Peete? Who remember so many? Who remember Gino Torretta? Who remember all of these quarterbacks? Drafting a quarterback does not mean success. It does not mean who remember Ryan Leaf? So having a young quarterback does not mean that the Saints don't have a history of drafting number one quarterbacks. If you knew anything about the Saints only drafted one quarterback in the first round in the history of the organization. And that's Archie Manning. In the history of the organization, they only drafted one quarterback. And how did that go? How did that go, family? How did that go for the New Orleans Saints? Archie Manning his sons were great. So listening to this guy, Matt, talking about he would rather be the Carolina Panthers, it does not mean success. It does not mean success. Right now, it's more than Derek Carr. It's internal. I'm telling you, it's Doug Marrone. It's Doug Marrone. It's Pete Carmichael. And if you remove these two guys, these two idiots, we would be much more respected. We have to go younger. I want to see a guy like Ronald Curry. And I'm telling you, we lose this football game. We lose this football game against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. Pete Carmichael is fired. He was almost going to be fired, demoted, before they beat New England. Pete Carmichael will be fired. Doug Marrone, I see changes coming right away after the Jaguars game. The changes that you guys been looking for. But as a Saints fan, don't y'all ever go against the grind with the Saints. Y'all always, don't let no podcasters tell y'all that you're delusional because you still believe in the Saints. Don't ever let these podcasters go around here telling you that you are delusional for being a super fan. Don't you ever let these guys tell you that. Because here on the Batter Sports Show podcast, we always going to be faithful. We always going to love our players. We always going to root for this team. You don't waste your money in that dome and not love this team. Don't give up. We are the best fans in the National Football League, and we ain't got time for hearing people that tell us that it's over. We're delusional for rooting for the Saints. These are the same people who is not. It gets to me when I see a lot of these new Saints fans, because back down in before Sean Payton came, they were wearing Cowboy starter jackets. They were wearing the 49ers starter jackets. They were wearing the Green Bay Packers starting jackets. And when I went to high school, they were wearing all of this. And all of a sudden now they're Saints fans. They're sometime lovers. Only when we win, you're a Saints fan. But when the Saints start losing, then you start to be the most critical one. Lil Wayne was not lying about New Orleans. Lil Wayne was not lying. And let me tell you something, Derek Carr was so frustrated. And I was glad to see him call out Pete Carmichael. Pete Carmichael need Derek Carr to go. Derek Carr, your job is on the line. Your whole legacy is on the line, Derek Carr. You got ran away from the Raiders. You got ran away from the Raiders. And I'm telling you, if you don't, you're gonna have to shake up something, Derek Carr. Because I've been going bat for you. I've been going for bat for you because you're my quarterback. And I don't believe all of the problems is on you. I don't believe that you haven't been here that long for the problems to be on you. These same problems occurred from last year. The problem has not healed from last year. You got a different quarterback, same problem. You got a different quarterback, same problem. The same problem with Jameis Winston, the same problem with Derek Carr. Quarterback coach. Offensive coordinator. The same guy. Same guy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the same guy. This is the same guy who he didn't have success with Jameis, and he's not having success with Derek Carr. That is the offensive coordinator. That ain't the quarterback. Derek Carr threw for 350 yards. Could have had 400 yards. He could have had multiple touchdowns. But if you cannot design plays to the tight end, you cannot design plays to Michael Thomas, then you are the fault. You are the fault, Pete Carmichael. I'm telling you, the Saints have a must-win situation. They are now in a must-win situation. This is the biggest game of the year. Because if the Saints beat the Jags, you play the Colts because their quarterback is out for the year. Then you're back on board, you're 5-3. And then you start getting into that schedule where things are much more easier, much more winnable. But we have to start on Thursday. Let's forget about what happened against the Houston and Texas. Let's forget about the New England game. We got to move forward, Saints fans. And that's not listening to these podcasters who are telling you delusional because you still believe. Don't listen to these podcasters who are telling you that we're delusional. We're not delusional. We're fans. And fans going to stand behind their team. Fans are going to stand behind their organization. Fans are not going to go around and saying that we would rather be the Carolina Panthers. We would rather be 0-6. What kind of podcaster of New Orleans Saints going to say that we would rather be 0-6? I would never want to be 0-6. I'll take 3-3 before 0-6 any day in a weak division. In a weak division. So if you don't believe that we still have a chance, what is the point of comment? What is the point of what is the point? We got the best fans. We got the best fans in the universe. We got the best fans. Nobody can tell me that the Who Dat Nation is not the best fans. We got the best fans. So I'm about to let y'all go. I want to thank y'all for the support tonight. Y'all make sure y'all share this video. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I thank y'all for so much for coming out tonight, listening to me rant. Don't give up, Saints fans. Don't give up. The Jets fans ain't gave up on the Jets. They lost their star quarterback. All of these other teams are not giving up on their football teams. Don't give up. Don't give up. I know it's frustrating, Saints fans. I understand it's frustrating, but don't give up. I'm not giving up. So you guys have a nice day, man. Have a great Saints night.